अष्टोत्तर शतु श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shyam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mathura Dham ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shamaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Shri Shri Janmashtami Mahotsav ki jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravan Pracharane Nirvishesha Shundavadi Paschatya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayamudirane. Tato Jayamudirane. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Shri Krishna Janmashtami ki jai. Hare Krishna. First of all, very happy Janmashtami to all of you. Hare Krishna. And since it's Janmashtami, Shri Krishna's appearance day, we are celebrating, so I selected a special verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. This chapter 43 describes Krishna kills the elephant Kubalayaki. And this particular verse is describing how everyone saw Krishna when he entered into the wrestling arena. Not that everybody saw Krishna in the same way. It's not that everybody sees Krishna in the same way. And there are various ways that one sees Krishna. So that has been described. And also, from this verse we can see how the perception differs, the way how the devotees look at Krishna, how the Balisa, those who are innocent, how they look at Krishna, how they see Krishna, and those who are offensive to Krishna, how they see Krishna. So these are the three specific ways of seeing Krishna. Devotees see Krishna in a certain way. Why? Because their eyes have been anointed with love. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochana. And how do they see Jam? Syama Sundaram Achinta Gunaswari. His Syam Sundar form, which is a reservoir for all good qualities, all divine qualities. Inconceivable divine qualities. So, text 17 goes like, Mallanam Ashanir Nrinam Naravara Strinam Smara Murtiman Gopanam Shajanam Asatam Kshiti Bhojan Shasta Sab Shishu Mrittur Bhujapatir Virad Vidusham Tattvam Param Yoginam Vrishninam Paradevateti Vidito Rangam Gata Sagraja. So translation. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways when he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt, the men of Mathura as the best of males, the women as Cupid in person, the cowherd men as their relative, the impious rulers as chastisers, his parents as their child, the king of the Bhojas as death, the unintelligent as the Supreme Lord's universal form, the yogis as the absolute truth, and the Vrishnis as the supreme worshipable deity. So please repeat after me. The various groups of people in the arena regarded Krishna in different ways. When he entered it with his elder brother. The wrestlers saw Krishna as a lightning bolt. The men of Mathura as the best of males. The women as Cupid in person. The cowherd men as their relative. The impious rulers as a chastiser. His parents as their child. The king of the Bhojas as death. The unintelligent as the Supreme Lord's universal form. The yogis as the absolute truth. And the Vrishnis as the supreme worshipable deity. Purport. Srila Siddha Swami quotes the following verse, which explains the 10 attitudes towards Krishna described here. There are 10 different moods: fury perceived by the wrestlers, wonder by the men, conjugal attraction the women, laughter the cowherds, chivalry the kings, mercy the parents, terror Kamsa, ghastliness the unintelligent, peaceful neutrality the yogis, and the loving devotions the Vrishnis. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out that people like the wrestlers, Kamsa, and the impious rulers perceive Krishna as dangerous, angry, or threatening because they fail to understand the actual position of the personality of God. Actually, Lord Krishna is everyone's friend and well-wisher. But because we rebel against him, he chastises us, and thus we may perceive him as threatening Krishna or God. Is actually threatening Krishna or God is actually merciful. And when he punishes us, that is also his mercy. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes the following Vedic statement. Rasa Vaisha Rasam hi evayam labdhanandi bhavati. He himself is rasa, the taste or mellow of a particular relationship. And certainly, one who achieves the rasa becomes anandi, filled with bliss. Taittiriya Upanishad 271. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati quotes a further verse to explain the word rasa. Vyatita bhavana vartma jas chamatkara bharo bhu Ridi sattva jala badham sabe sadate sa raso mataha. That which is beyond imagination, heavy with wonder and relished in the heart, shining with goodness, such is known as rasa. As Srila Rupa Goswami elaborately explains in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there are 5 main rasas: neutrality, servitorship, friendship, parental, love and conjugal love. The 7 secondary rasas, amazement, humor, chivalry, compassion, fury, fear and dread. Thus, altogether there are 12 rasas, and the supreme object of them all is Krishna himself. In other words, our love and affection are actually meant for Shri Krishna. Unfortunately, out of ignorance, we stubbornly try to squeeze happiness and love out of some material relationships, which are not directly connected to Krishna, and thus life becomes a constant frustration. The solution is simply surrender to Krishna, love Krishna's devotees, and be happy forever. So, this is the purpose of Krishna's appearance. Krishna himself mentions that the purpose of his coming is paritranaya sadhana vinashaya cha dushkrita. But Prabhupada pointed out that vinashaya cha dushkritam is not the real purpose of Krishna's coming. Different agencies of Krishna can actually take care of it. Mother Nature can take care of it, Durga Devi. Durga kills the demons. But in some cases, Krishna comes to kill some demons himself. And then again, we have been told, like Prabhupada mentions, that actually Krishna doesn't kill the demons. It is Vishnu that kills the demons. Krishna's business is not to kill demons. It's Vishnu's business to kill demons. And these incarnations are actually the expansions of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So actually they are the ones, those who kill the demons, they're parts of the parts of the parts of the parts of Krishna. Krishna's business is Anandamaya, to enjoy and give pleasure, Ananda, to others. And this Ananda takes place through these mellows, the rasas. And we can see some of the rasas are leading to, some of these relationships are leading to animosity, and some are devotees. Surrender, submission. Those who are inimical to Krishna, those who are averse to Krishna, they actually they appear in order to, or they are arranged to come in order to increase the mellow of enjoyment, joy through the pastimes. Like, pastimes are like a drama. The real drama is Krishna's pastimes. And the drama has to have 2 things. The drama has to have the hero and the villain. Without the antagonist and protagonist, there cannot be drama. Because the more the conflict, greater is the excitement. And greater the excitement, greater the joy. Like, therefore these demons come. And you can see how the demons are presented. They're extremely powerful. Extremely powerful, as if no one can deal with them. And Krishna comes. And then the demons actually become opposed to Krishna, antagonistic to Krishna. And then there is a conflict. And in the conflict, ultimately what happens? The hero wins and the demon is smashed. And everyone dances with ecstasy. So that is actually the purpose of Krishna's appearance. He is Rasa Vaisaha. He is the reservoir of all the rasas or mellows. And as in the purport, it has been pointed out, there are 12 rasas, 5 principal mukhya and 7 gomna. 5 are principal mellows and 7 are secondary mellows. The 5 principal mellows are neutrality, servitorship, friendship, parental and conjugal. And these relationships are, through this relationship, the 7 mellows of emotions develop. Like they are hashya, joke, laughter. A good drama has to have fun. Adbhut, surprise, wonder. Veera, chivalry. Rodra, anger. And Bibhatsra, ghastly. Bhayana, frightening. And Karun, pathos. So these are the 7 secondary mellows. And through these secondary mellows, the emotions actually churn. Emotions become churn. So that is the purpose of Krishna's appearance. He enjoys, and those who are connected to him, they also enjoy. But the thing is that those who are favorably connected, they benefit. Those who are unfavorably connected, they get destroyed. Now, there is another consideration about drama, or a good movie, say to say, although we don't watch movies, that is understood. It has one aspect is entertainment, enjoyment. Everyone goes to see a movie or a drama for what? It's entertainment. And another aspect is education. From a good drama, we learn something. And what is the ultimate lesson that one should learn? The ultimate lesson that one should learn is Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and surrender unto Him is the ultimate goal of life. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line of all of Krishna's pastimes. Like, of course, nowadays things are changing because of atheistic influence. Atheistic influence means no one is interested about God. They don't care to learn about Him or get to know Him. But in a society where the proper understanding is there, naturally everyone becomes attached to Krishna and averse to the demons. Like, say for example, when you grew up, or as devotees, who do we look up to? We look up to, of course, Krishna. We look up to Krishna's devotees like Arjuna. They become the role model. But now what is happening, at least in India I'm noticing, that because the society has become atheistic, they are following Ravana. They are following Kamsa. They are following Karna. They are actually trying to promote that actually they are the great personalities. And it started to happen not only now, it started to happen, I would say, more than 100 years ago, due to the British influence in India. There was a very famous poet who became a Christian. His name is Michael Madhusudan Datta. Michael, I can see. Michael Madhusudan. Michael Madhusudan Datta. He actually wrote an epic. He is a great poet actually. He wrote an epic called Meghnad Bodh Kabbya, the epic that describes the killing of Meghnad. Meghnad is Ravan's son, Indrajit. Now, you see, while he is doing that, he is promoting Ravan, as if Ravan is the great person, Meghnad is a great person, Lakshman is the villain. So this is what is happening in today's world. Why? Because the society is becoming atheistic. And as a result of that, the whole situation is becoming so miserable all over the world. And I see that some people are actually noticing that. The other day I was reading one comment by one great person, I forgot his name, in the recent world, in America. He was addressing that this shooting, the terrorism in schools and different, in shopping malls and things like that. And he's saying the solution, the reason for that is people are becoming atheistic. That's why all these things are happening. And the solution is becoming religious. They are not, he didn't say God conscious anyway, but he's meaning that, becoming religious. Because when people become religiously inclined, then they automatically develop a peaceful nature, peaceful and tolerant nature. Anyway, so Krishna comes, and Krishna, this is the day when Krishna came. That's why we are celebrating Janmashtami. Janma means birth. Ashtami, today is the Ashtami Tithi. The Vedic calculation of time, in a month, there are two phases. Waxing period of the moon and waning period of the moon. Both the phases go up to 15 days. Like after 14 days come the full moon. Then the moon starts to wane. It takes 14 days to wane and come to the total moonless night. And that is called, Amavasya or, not Newman. Anyway, it's new moon, full moon and new moon, right. There is no moon in the sky. So in the Shukla Pakha, in this month, according to Vedic calculation, this month is called Bhadra. And in this month, on the waxing period, on the 8th day, Krishna appeared. Krishna appeared. But we are saying Janma Ashtami. Krishna doesn't take birth. But it appears that Krishna took birth. Because why? Because Krishna is performing these pastimes, his Bhoma Leela, as a human child. That is actually Krishna's mercy. Here we also have to understand that very mercifully Krishna has given us his own form. The original Supreme Personality of Godhead is two-handed. In Vaikuntha, Narayan is four-handed. Narayan is not the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayan is an expansion. Like the original Supreme Personality of Godhead is Dibhuj Shyam Sundar. And his abode is Vrindavan. Aradha Bhagavan Brajeshotana Stadhama Vrindavanam. His abode is Vrindavan. And he is the son of Nanda Maharaj. This is also another important thing to consider. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj. Here is thing, that means son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, not Vasudeva and Devaki. And Rupa Goswami pointed out that Krishna is another Krishna. Who appeared in the Jadu dynasty. Krishna Anna Jadu Sambhuta. Anna means other. That Krishna is other, another one. Jadu Sambhuta, who appeared. But the original Supreme Personality of Godhead is the son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Jashoda, and he never lives Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parittajya kutra kadapi na gacchati. Krishna never goes anywhere leaving Vrindavan. So then what's the thing? I mean, Anna means what? He himself, Krishna himself, but it's expansion. Original Krishna is the son of Nanda Maharaj and he lives in Vrindavan. And his first expansion is Balaram. And then from Balaram appears the Chaturbhujas. Vasudev, Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Dwarka, they are Chaturbhuja. And this Krishna of Vrindavan is two-armed. But this Vasudev Krishna, sometimes two-armed, sometimes four-armed. Do you remember when Krishna appeared?
Four arms.
Right. Four-armed. So four-armed Krishna is not the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's two-armed. And just consider, Krishna has two arms, we have two arms. And that statement is quite appropriate actually. The man has been created according to the image of God. Man has been created according to the image of God. According to the image of Krishna of Vrindavan. The demigods have been created according to the image of Vaikuntha Narayans. They are four-armed, demigods are four-armed. So that is the reason why the human form of life is so special and so precious. Human form of life is so precious because the Lord has given His own form to us. And as a result of that, He is providing us with the prerogative to go back to original, the topmost region of the spiritual world, Golok. And in order to take us to Golok, Krishna himself comes. Or rather, when Krishna comes, we have to understand that it is a remarkable opportunity to go back to Golok. And then he makes this opportunity even broader, even wider when he comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the opportunity, all two-armed human beings take the opportunity and go back to Golok Vrindavan. Doesn't matter wherever you are. Even in the remote corner of this world called Atlanta, the Lord is providing us this opportunity. Anywhere, and everybody has the opportunity to go back to Golok Vrindavan. That is the purpose why Krishna actually comes. He provides us with the highest form of joy. That is the thing. The highest form of joy is there in Vrindavan. Vaikuntha is a place of opulence. Dwarka is a place of opulence, but Vrindavan is the place of joy. And how is this joy experienced? This joy is experienced through love. Love. And this is the secret actually. When someone is very great, like when one knows that here is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our love becomes hindered. We cannot love Him as like that. So that's why in Vaikuntha or even in Dwarka, this opportunity to have that loving relationship, exclusive and pure loving relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not possible. And He made it possible in Vrindavan by just becoming one of us. He's just one of us. He's not a king. He is not the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not even a prince. He is a cowherd boy. We may have difficulty developing a loving relationship with a king or a prince, but to develop a loving relationship with a cowherd boy, anybody can develop a relationship with him. And that is what Krishna provided through his pastime. So we have to understand that although Krishna says paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya cha duskritam, this vinashaya cha duskritam is not the important factor. The real purpose of his coming is to enable, is to provide the opportunity to us to go back to him. That's why he comes. He comes so that we can develop a loving relationship with him. Just as one of us. And he is one of us. He loves us. It's not difficult to love somebody who loves you, isn't it? I mean, it's not only not difficult, it is actually, this is what should be done. When somebody loves somebody, I mean, and if he's a gentleman, then won't he reciprocate the love? It's only an ungrateful individual who says, okay, you may love me, I don't give a damn about you. So, Krishna is actually providing us this opportunity. And that's why, but through Krishna's pastime, although he actually reveals this opportunity, reveals this facility, Krishna did not, one did not properly understand the purpose of Krishna's appearance. Okay, here is also another consideration. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, and the destination of all these 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas is Vaikuntha, or Dwarka, or Ayodhya. But and that's why when Krishna came and performed his pastimes, even these Vaishnava Sampradayas could not properly understand the purpose of his pastimes. Many of them even thought, even the Vaishnava communities thought, well, Krishna's relationship with the gopis is not proper. And it's understandable. Krishna himself is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Jajjat acharati sreshtas lokastad anuvartate. The way a great man acts, accordingly, common man follows. So, one may say, well, Krishna is having affairs with other girls, unmarried girls, or married girls, so I also can have that relationship. One may think that way. That's why some of them did not even want to get into Rasalila. Even our own Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, does not actually take this Brahma Mohan Leela. They don't want to delve into Brahma Mohan Leela. Their consideration is, Brahma is our preceptor. So how can he be bewildered? So in this way, there is some lack of understanding. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he gave us the proper understanding of Krishna's Braja Leela. And that's why Prabhupada was so emphatic that we do not just jump into the 10th canto, into the Braja Leela. That some unscrupulous people do. Therefore, we have to first understand who is Krishna. It's not that we have to always follow a Mahajan or a great personality. And the example is, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison. So should we try that out? Good luck. And so these are the activities of great personality that should never be imitated. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and revealed who is Krishna, and mainly who is Srimati Radharani. Who are the gopis? Vasudev Ghosh sang, Jodi gaur na hoito, tobe ki hoito, kemone dhoritam de. Premo rasho shiman, radharo mohima, jagote janato. if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not have come, who would have revealed the glory of Srimati Radharani? Who would have revealed the secret of Vrindavan? Who would have revealed the exalted position of the gopis? So that is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. Gave us the proper understanding of who Krishna is and what is this, what's the speciality of these pastimes of Vrindavan. And he himself actually pointed out by acting himself. Get absorbed in Krishna's activities in Vrindavan. That is the goal of life. And then we can see how wonderful Krishna is. So the point here is Krishna appears, Krishna descends. Although we call it Janmashtami, Janma is for ordinary living entities. Jivas take birth. But Krishna is Aja. We are also Aja. Ajo nitya shashvato ayam purana, na hannate hanumane shari. Krishna is giving our identity also as unborn. We are also unborn. It's the soul that is unborn, the body that is born. Because our bodies are made of matter, Panchabhutatma, made of 5 elements. This body is born. The body takes birth when it appears. And it is the soul accepting a material body, and when the body is complete, and the soul now has the full freedom to utilize the body for his own purpose. That is the birth of a conditioned soul. So therefore Krishna himself is saying, Ajopi son of Bhayatma. Prior to that, this was actually when Arjuna was surprised. Krishna, you are saying that you gave this knowledge to Vivashwan. You gave this knowledge to Vivashwan. So Vivashwan has born so many millions of years ago. But you are born just the other day. Aparam bhavato janma param janma Vivashwan. You are born just the other day, and Vivashwan was born so many millions of years ago. Katham etat vijaniyam. How can I understand tamado praktavaniti, that you imparted the knowledge to Vivashwan? And what was Krishna's response to that? Bahuni me batitani janmani tavacharjuna. Many times both you and I have taken birth, Arjuna. But tani aham veda sarvani. I remember about everything about all those births. Not tam vedha paramita, but you don't. So that's the difference between us and him. Not tam vedha paramita. Like Arjuna also is a jivatma. Although he is a pure devotee, no doubt. But Krishna is saying that you also do not remember your previous birth. But I do. That's the difference between a living entity and the Supreme Personality of God. And then he is saying, Ajopi sanam bhayatma bhutanam ishvarapi sanam. That although I am unborn, although I am the supreme controller of everything and everybody, Prakritim Sham Adhisthaya, taking advantage or taking the support of my internal potency, Yogamaya, Sambhavami, not born but manifest myself. I come, I appear. So therefore the proper understanding is that although you are celebrating Krishna's Janmashtami, but Krishna is unborn. Krishna just appears, which is with the potency of his Yogamaya. Krishna can come in any way he wants. He came as Lord Nishingadev from a pillar. Just Prahlad, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, where is your Hari? Hari is everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Yes, he is there. And he broke the pillar just with a blow. And then Varahadeva appeared from the nostrils of Brahma. He sneezed and Varahadeva appeared, a small little boar. And it kept on growing and growing and growing. It becomes so big that he could carry the entire Earth planet on his tusk. Rescue Earth. To deliver Gajendra, he came directly from Dwarka. Dwarka se chale Gopal Garud ke bichare. In order to kill Chakra se graho ko mari Gajaraj ko udhari. Killing the crocodile with his disc, he rescued the king of elephants, Gajaraj. So in this way you can see that Krishna comes in any way that he wants. But sometimes he comes in this way, as a human being, so that we, the human beings, can have a loving relationship with him, so that we can feel that he is one of us. He is so close to me. He loves me. He wants me to love him. That is the purpose of Krishna's coming. He is just appealing to us actually. Why don't you love me? Why don't you love me? Love is incomplete unless there is proper reciprocation. If one party loves, the other party doesn't love, love is not complete. And the lover becomes heartbroken. But when the other party responds, I love you, then the love is complete. And then both of them starts to dance in ecstasy. So that's the bottom line of our relationship with Krishna. Krishna loves us. Krishna is telling us, I love you, I love you, I love you. But our face is turned to the other direction. And we are saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. All we have to do is just turn our face towards Krishna. That's about all that is needed. Turn our face towards Krishna and just see how much he loves us. Then automatically it will happen. Automatically we will feel like loving him. Therefore Krishna's instruction is surrender unto me. Because through this surrender, our vision will turn from the material direction towards the spiritual direction. The material direction in this material world, when our senses are running towards the objects of the senses, we are stuck here. Dhayate vishayan punsha sangasteshu bhajayate. Dhayate vishayan, vishay, objects of the senses. When our consciousness is running towards the objects of the senses, through the mind, Sangasteshu bhajayate, we become entangled. And then the problem starts. Shangat samjayate kama. Due to that association with the objects of the senses, we develop lust. We want to enjoy those objects of the senses. Samjat, samgat, samjayate kama. And kamat krudha vijayate. Due to that, when our desire to enjoy is frustrated, we become angry. Kamat krudha vijayate. And it goes on degrading us more and more. Krodhat bhavati sanmoha, sanmoha smriti vibhana. And smriti bhramshat buddhinasha, buddhinashan pradashyati. The intelligence is the factor that actually reminds us, turn towards Krishna. And that proper intelligence is buddhi yoga. But when the intelligence is lost, then there is no way we can actually develop the understanding to turn towards Krishna. Then the spiritual master comes and tells us, use your intelligence in the right way. And because of Srila Prabhupada's appearance, we are getting this good fortune today. We are simply learning to love the supreme object of love. We love the wrong object. If we repose our love that is in our hearts to a wrong object, it leads to frustration and suffering. But when the love is offered to the right object, to Krishna, then that love becomes the source of ananda. The prema is actually the basis of ananda. Therefore, prema is so important. And the prema, love, begins from surrender. We may not know who Krishna is. We may not recognize that how much he loves us. But if we at least surrender to him with a faith that he is there, he is there. And if we surrender unto him, then what happens? Just consider, the little child surrenders to the mother or father. What do? Picks up the child in a loving embrace. And that's what Krishna does. When we surrender, that's the beginning point. Just surrender. And Krishna will pick us up in his loving embrace. We do not know what love is. We are too immature to understand, just like a little child doesn't know what love is. But in order to recognize what love does, what love is, he has to grow up to maturity. An example in that respect, a little boy and a little girl are growing up together. They have friendship. They have attraction for each other. But then as they develop their maturity, all of a sudden one day the boy feels something strange happening to his heart, looking at the girl. So that's what is going to happen to us when we develop our love for Krishna. Now that we are children in our spiritual lives, we do not know what the love is. But at least when we surrender unto him, then in course of time the maturity will take up. When we practice the process properly, sadhana bhakti, this sadhana bhakti will lead to prema. Prema bhakti. Rupa Goswami, Nectar of Devotion, is pointing out the sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti. The sadhana bhakti, through the practice, when we develop our spiritual maturity, then yes, the prema will spontaneously develop in our heart. So this is how we can see that this process of Krishna consciousness is genuine. Prabhupada always used to point out, practice it and you will see the result. That will be the proof of genuinity and the authenticity of a movement. Practice it, and it's happening. Once we get the taste, we are stuck forever. Our material life is finished. Like somebody may not be that serious, or somebody may feel like going away and trying it out once again outside. But the thing is, once one got the taste, he'll come back, don't worry. He will come back, or she will come back. So, we have found the right process, and let's just practice this process with all sincerity. It will happen. That's why Krishna came. The purpose of Krishna's coming here is to simply remind us that he loves us and he wants us to love him. Won't it be wonderful to be with Krishna? And it's not, the Prabhupada is again pointing out that Krishna is playing with the cowherd boys doesn't mean that Krishna will play only with those who are there in the spiritual world in Golok Vrindavan. Krishna will play with them. Krishna is providing us the opportunity. You also come. Anybody can come and join this party. This party, this transcendental party that Krishna has organized, is open to all. We simply have to step into that. But in order to do that, we have to turn our face from this direction to that direction. And that is the purpose of devotional service. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. A very, very happy and joyful, blissful Krishna Janmashtami. And tomorrow we'll celebrate another wonderful festival, Srila Prabhupada's Vas Puja. Does anybody have any question? Yes.
Maharaj, thank you so much for such a charming class, such a sweet class. Thank you so much, Maharaj. You made so many wonderful points. I especially love the point that you made that in this world it's difficult to love somebody because there's lack of reciprocation. But here Krishna loves us so much, He is doing so much for us, He is coming to this material world for us. There is so much reciprocation, so it should be so easy to love Krishna. And you also very beautifully described that when we look at material energy, then Bhayata Vishayam Pumsa, then the fall down begins. And you said that with our intelligence, we have to control our mind and the other 5 senses. Maharaj, my question is, we know this, but sometimes the senses become so strong, the mind becomes so uncontrolled, that although, and then you said how Buddhi Yoga means, that Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati, and that is Buddhi Yoga, that we should never lose our Buddhi. But somehow, how to make the intelligence so strong that we can tell the mind quiet, we can tell the senses no. How we can put our foot down.
Wonderful.
Because in times of temptations, and then it is so bad.
Yeah, that's why we have to associate. And the only way is by proper association. Maya is attracting us, trying to attract us, but the association of devotees will prevent us from going to Maya. And in that respect, Prabhupada, I had the good fortune of hearing it from Srila Prabhupada, that the similar question actually I asked Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada pointed out that to remain in the association of devotees. Okay, I'll go back to the point. Prabhupada actually told me that to be a sannyasi, it happened soon after I got my sannyas. So Prabhupada himself started to tell me, to be a sannyasi means to be with the most beautiful girl, but not be attracted to her. And so then in that point I just said, oh, that's why some religious groups in India, they don't look at a woman. So Prabhupada said, no, that's not the way. Because someday when his eyes will fall in a woman, then it will finish. Not looking at a woman is not going to solve the problem. But to remain in the association of devotees is what is going to save us from this falling into the Maya. And then Prabhupada pointed out, although Maya is Krishna's external energy and Mama Maya Duratta is very, very powerful, but the association of devotees is Krishna's internal potency. And that's why internal potency of Krishna is more powerful than Krishna's external potency. And we can see that when you remain in the association of devotees, Maya cannot even come near us. But trouble starts, when you give up the association of devotees. So, does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
You were mentioning, you were mentioning the shootings and things like that, where a person was mentioning that people should turn towards God, and from the knowledge that we have, we understand that following the Vedic principles, one can develop, this loving nature towards each and every living entity. But you see, in today's world, most religious groups as such are quite violent and aggressive. So how will you, how is it that we explain to a normal person that, following religious principles actually makes you love every living entity, but instead, what they see outside is the exact opposite of what.
Very good, very good. Yeah, the problem is today what's going on in the name of religion is not actually religion. Religion actually is the means to understand God. All religions are giving you that. Go to the bottom of it. All the religions are speaking about God and asking you to surrender unto Him, directly or indirectly. The trouble is what's going on in the name of religion is causing all the problems. And it's happening because there is no proper understanding. Like, that reminds me, in London, I was in a program, and this question actually came out, what is the difference between religion and spirituality? Because you see, nowadays many of the people are becoming spiritual. And my answer to that was, religion is the means to understand the spiritual reality. There is another reality beyond this material, perceivable nature, there is another reality which is beyond our sense perception. And religion is the means that gives us the understanding of that world and our nature, our situation in relation to that. And then I pointed out that just as physics is the means to understand energy, chemistry is the means to understand elements, mathematics is the means to understand numbers, religion is the means to understand the spiritual reality. Since physics is science, chemistry is science, mathematics is science, religion is a science. And that is what Srila Prabhupada had always been hammering on. Religion is not a faith, religion is science, religion is science. And that is how religion is, real religion is going to appeal to the intelligent class of people. You can see that they are becoming spiritual, but what is the understanding of the spiritual? They don't have any understanding. They don't know what even mind is. They don't know what to speak of intelligence and what to speak of false ego. What to speak of the spirit soul. They have no knowledge, no information. So the real spirituality, in a way we can see that the world is becoming ready for that, to receive Srila Prabhupada's teaching, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. They are becoming more and more, they're becoming averse to what's going on in the name of religion. But at the same time, they're displaying some sort of inclination towards understanding what spiritual reality is. Now they're eager to that, to understand that, but they don't have proper information. So here is our opportunity to provide the actual, anyway, the other day I was actually going into the, listening to some of this near-death experience. Now what is near-death experience? The subtle body goes out of the material body, gross body, and experiences something, and then comes back to the gross body. So, but they do not have any understanding of the subtle body, that's the problem. They're simply stuck with this body and that's about all. So I think it's the time for Arati. Ready? Okay. Thank you all very much. All glories to Srila
H.H.Tridandi vikhuk Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj ki.